What is happening, Dolphins fans, and welcome to another episode of the Fins Tailgate. I am your host, Capitan, and tonight we've got a special guest. We've got a comedian. We were chatting it up in the backstage. Michael Lenoci, for all you guys that aren't following, he's going to tell us all about his Dolphin fandom. We were chatting up about Tua. We were chatting up about some conspiracy things. We already know he's out there in the streets of the Twitter streets, out there doing shows from Savannah, Georgia to Illinois, in LA now, hometown guy. I'm not going to waste y'all's time. I'm going to bring him up. We're going to get right into the stuff. And welcome, Michael. What's happening, bro?
What's up, dude? Thanks for having me.
Man, thanks for coming, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Before we get into all the big-time Dolphins stuff, doing a tour, living your dream, doing the whole thing. I saw on your YouTube thing what you do, your day in the life of your vlogs. I like them. They're very good.
Thank you, buddy.
You guys call it the Poor Tour. I thought that was pretty funny. You guys were calling it the Poor Tour. It was pretty good. Chris D'Elia.
Yeah.
One of the cats you're hanging with. He's got that show on NBC. That's
Back
awesome.
in the day. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I do a little bit of everything. I do local shows here, some of my own shows all over the country, and then sometimes I'll hop on shows of his and other people. I mean, it's kind of just a grind. You keep going, and any good opportunities that hop your way, you jump on them because there's always plenty of comedians to work with that can help grow your audience, and the more you do, the better you get. So that's the end goal. You keep going, and I'm like 12 years in now, so that's pretty much an extension of who I am.
And you guys, like it's friends you make, and everybody helps a brother out and stuff like that. That's cool.
Exactly
man.
How it is.
Community type
The
thing.
comedy is a fraternity, basically. So
gotta earn your stripes.
That's how it is. Yeah, exactly. So
like anything worth having, you know what I'm saying? That's the real deal.
Yeah, there's no prime in comedy like in football, though.
Yeah, you got the prime.
So you get you shine with age. Unlike in football, you have a limited time to shine, and thankfully that's happening sooner than later for some of the guys we like to root for.
Yeah, let's move on that. Friggin' Tua coming into his own. He's like number one in like a gazillion stats right now, which I think we're all just stoked as can get about it. A lot of us, like we were talking backstage, last year, everybody was real down on him. Not everybody. Some people.
I'm guilty of it too, man. I'm guilty of it too. We were, victims of the media ourselves when they kept throwing Herbert in our face, and we were watching Tua, and we were watching the defense make a run where we won 7-8 in a row, but we knew, we were like, well, dude, we're getting turnovers every game. And they're like, all right, well, this Tennessee game, this has got to be the game, man. We got to see something out of him. And there might have been one good throw in that game, and it was just like that for me was like, I don't care how he's played, if he hasn't played great, but I wanted to see some competitive fire, something that where he was like, God damn it, and wanted to win. And I was kind of like very disappointed, actually. Like I didn't even care about that Patriots game. Looking back, he played pretty well in that game, but I was just like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it was all a little bit too late, and I think I know what you're talking about. It's like we viewed Tennessee as a real opponent that we could test our grit against to say, hey, if we get here, we can go in the playoffs.
Yeah,
and we failed that test miserably.
I could also pinpoint what we were talking about earlier, not to jump into the Jason Sanders thing, but man, if he makes that field goal before halftime against the Raiders in week 2, we're in the playoffs. So it's like going back, it's like you can never say one thing is the reason we didn't make something, but that was a big game too against Tennessee. And then, we had the craziest offseason probably ever for me. I mean, the only other time I remember it being as crazy or hyped was when we got Culpepper.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But this one was even crazier with the drama. And
it was Tyreek Hill. It's like the gangster of the whole NFL. Everybody knows he's a freak of nature, dude. And we're like, what? The whole.
Were you
thing
nervous?
pivoted.
Were you nervous when we got him that we would not be able to do the things that he's done before. Like for
What
some reason,
What do you mean? Like when we got what's his name from Pittsburgh for
yeah,
Tannehill?
Mike
Yeah,
Wallace.
yeah,
Like when we
yeah.
had Mike Wallace, or it's happened so many times to us where we brought in a guy who's supposed to be like this crazy weapon, and then it's just like blah.
Yeah.
And and I think that there's a combination of things that are happening right now. You're hearing it in the media right now. Is it Tua? Is it McDaniel? Or is it Tyreek? And it really is just a perfect marriage. I do think a lot of it goes to McDaniel. I mean, he's doing some amazing things, but like Tua is too,
He's
and
got
so is Tyreek.
he's carrying his own water. So like I think Dolphins fans, when we're talking about this particular subject, we pay close attention. We're watching everything.
Yeah,
We're really in tune with the team. These big time media guys, they're getting. First of all, they got their secretary giving them notes. They're watching highlights. They're doing this.
they're
Whatever.
watching highlight. I don't think they're rewatching games. Like I'll
No.
rewatch the games.
Yeah, we're all like intently, Dolphins. And you from Florida grew up Dolphins fan in the area, so you've been following it since infancy, like myself and stuff like that. So I think it's a different perspective, and when I don't want to say it's a more honest perspective, it's these guys' job to be that way, as we know. They're
They have
clicks
to
and stuff.
do clickbait for
Yep.
sure. And from those 3 weeks that Tua wasn't playing, remember that first week was about the concussion, and then after that
Mm.
news was on, they didn't talk about the Dolphins because there wouldn't be any clickbait. I feel like even if we won, they wouldn't have been talking about them as much because it
Well, I
wasn't
don't
like
know. They could be
maybe
like, oh, they don't need Tua.
that's true, but they would have
Yeah.
had his name in the thing ever since he became a star in college. His name generates views. So that this is a business, man. This is what
Bro,
they do, man.
I've
So
never seen, and I've said this before on the channel, I've never seen a product like Tua come to this football team. A superstar drafted like this. Never in my
yeah.
life.
And you know
Never.
what's crazy is because of the way he has played before this season, I've never seen a superstar come into the league and have the least amount of endorsements.
Yeah, you know what?
And
That's a
it's
good eye, too.
it's not that he's a dud. I mean, he's not like
Where's
he doesn't
his
have
Subway
the biggest
commercial?
yeah,
His
he doesn't have the
Gatorade?
biggest personality. Like he's definitely not like Baker, but like he's not like Herbert. Herbert is like a quiet guy in the corner of the room. Tua's definitely got a little I think it's like there's a likability because he has a little bit of an accent,
Little
right?
charisma.
And then
Yeah.
he's got like, but he definitely doesn't have like this swag that some of the other guys carry. But I guarantee you, if he keeps this up, you're going to see this guy all over national television at the end of the year. If they make the playoffs and assume that his numbers stay consistent, you're going to see him all over the place because people love hearing his name.
They do. I mean, nobody moves the needle like that. Again, that was kind of my point. Like, I've never seen something move the needle this way for this team, even when we had competitive football teams. Now, granted, it's social media, and let's be real, Dolphin fans, we haven't had anything like this since social media kind of became a thing. You know what I'm saying?
No,
like,
I
we've
mean,
been kind of.
I don't think we've had a team. Was that Adam Gase's first year? We made the playoffs.
16.
It was fine. You had Jarvis Landry. He was the explosive guy, but the offense didn't really have an identity. They were kind of winning games.
Jay Ajayi was running 200
That's
yard
what
games.
right? I think that's what it was.
Yeah,
and then Tannehill went out at the end of the year against the Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I think that defensively, I don't even remember who were the guys on that team.
I think Ndamukong Suh was still on the team at that point, wasn't he?
Yeah, maybe.
Remember.
And it was just kind of a fluke year. Then we lost Tannehill. And we knew we were gonna lose to Pittsburgh. But before that, then we had the Ronnie Brown Wildcat year. We made the playoffs in 2008 with Chad Pennington.
That was fun. Ricky and Ronnie.
That was a fun team. And
I think we hoped that wave would ride longer. As soon as Chad got injured, it fizzled
just
out.
helped that we could have someone replace him. I liked Sperano, but I guess he was one of the guys who lost the locker room. Rest in peace to that guy. But this has
Sperano was a good dude.
I loved Flores. I was heartbroken when this happened.
Bro,
I think we all were.
Well, that's just it. Not a lot of us were because we hear the other stuff behind the scenes. But take some of that with a grain of salt too.
I
you
think
know
he
what I'm
was the
saying?
scapegoat for a lot of things. Let's be honest.
100%,
At
bro.
one point, all three guys were out on Tua. The owner, Flores, and Greer. This isn't just only Flores thing. They all were trying to do something, and he was a scapegoat. But you know what, dude? We realized they did show us like how bad he was at offense. What they were doing in New England. We had two offensive coordinators. They never beefed up the line. Last year we had 3 second-year linemen and a rookie starting with no leadership. Look at how
with a young quarterback that's trying to find his footing in the NFL, coming off injury, and
they dropped the ball, bro.
They really did. They didn't do him any service. Yeah,
you realize how important he was on defense, though. You're realizing it this year, Flores.
Well, I don't know. Yes and no, because
there was a swag to it.
Yeah, the defense definitely had a little bit of something to it, a little bit more bite, I'll say.
Do you remember at the end of the year they posted a picture with Flores, the whole 11 starters, saying, I don't think we'll ever have a squad like this together. It was unbelievable. They did like a whole little post.
Oh,
and
word.
They were tight. They were definitely tight. And, we have injuries, but there still is talent there. So I think there's time for it to come together.
Yeah, I think especially with the new trade, too, the Bradley Chubb trade. I mean, once he starts feeling it out, they start having that, defensive guys, they could do what they do as far as their special, but you got to work with the people that you're around, get the field, know their tendencies. Hey, on these types of plays, I'm going to go inside, you're going to go outside, something like that. There's still some tightening of the screws to make this a little better, but I still think as much as the defense has really been shaky these last couple of weeks, it's been something we've come to feel comfortable with. So I feel like they're going to get back together sooner rather than later. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, especially to couple with this offense.
If it's going to happen, it's got to happen in these next 2 weeks. I'll tell you that much, because this is where, we're playing two quarterbacks who are not mobile, and the Browns, we know what their weapon is. It's running the ball, and thankfully the one thing the defense has been good at for the first time in years is the run game against running backs. So I mean, listen, stuff the box, let Xavier cover Amari, and then
Cater Kohu out there doing good work.
Let's see how they do with their other. I don't know who their other wide receiver is, but I don't think they have their tight end coming back either. So I think this is the week we actually see some sacks. I think we get maybe 3 to 4 sacks in this game.
Well,
we might see some actually sacks.
Jacoby Brissett is, bro. He moves like molasses, dude. I've never seen someone move so slow in my life, dude. I've never seen someone move so slow. The fact that he couldn't win us just 2 games, we would have been in the playoffs last year. He couldn't just get us 2 Ws. That was so frustrating. And then this year when they're going with him, I remember saying to my buddy, I was like, they really think they're going to win 5 or 4 games until Deshaun comes back? I go, that's asking a lot, bro. It's asking a lot.
I don't know how they pulled it off last week against Cincy, but that was...
Well, divisional games, everybody fights in division a little bit. Yeah, it is a little shaky. But I will say this when thinking about Jacoby Brissett. Historically, outside of when he was a Dolphin, whenever he came here, whether it was with the Patriots or the Colts, he always played really good in Miami. He always did. Remember when we got him and we were like, yeah, remember he was that was the kind of undertone story. He always plays good in Miami and stuff like that. I don't expect him to, but if he's out there showing his stuff a little bit, because he has an NFL arm. He ain't running to do anything.
I mean, listen.
But he's not a starting, he's no one's starting quarterback. Let's be real.
If Fields couldn't do what he did, I mean, Chubb was like a second away from 2 sacks in that game. Phillips year
had him dead to rights, bro. Twice.
I know. Phillips has been like a second away from literally 7 or 8 sacks this year. It's been very frustrating, but it's also good because everybody else is breaking it down on how good he's actually playing this year. We don't see it because we don't see the numbers, but this should have opened it up for him. Yeah, I'm not worried. I actually was more worried about the Detroit game because they were 1-5 at the time, and I was like, they got the back against the walls. Mm-hmm. They have to win, and that win came against the Packers. And then even Chicago, I was like, I did think we should. I was like, we should blow them out. We should. Where's our complete game? We haven't had a complete game yet
1,000,000%.
like we had a great special teams game well, kind of. Jason Sanders still missed the field goal last week, but we had a blocked punt. And then, offensively was just as sharp as in Detroit.
We're a juggernaut on offense these last 2 weeks. That's for damn sure.
I mean, even opening up that Steelers game, that first quarter, man, that's how we looked these last two games. It's there. And then if you go back to the Cincy game before he gets hurt, that first quarter, it's there. He throws one bad pick, but like they were moving the ball the way they are now. And then you go back to the Buffalo game, makes a big throw to Waddle. It's been there the whole time, really. He just had Russ in that Steelers game.
Mm-hmm.
And then
once the light clicked on in that second half of that Baltimore game, other than shaking off the rust in that Steelers game, it seems like this offense is fine. Especially now the offensive line seems to really be getting it together, too.
I think we're just making it easy on them. Literally, he gets the ball out so quick. I mean, you count 2 seconds, and Waddle and Hill are already 25 yards down the field.
It's hard to defend that shit.
It's crazy that Gesicki's not having a big year because how are these teams just not like just always doubling Waddle and Tyreek? But they're still not. They're still like being stubborn, which is fine. I just think that look what Armstead did, going back to the O-line thing. A leader on the line has made these below average linemen mediocre, which is crazy. And even Connor, they're talking about him. He's having a huge year.
He's like top 5 or 6 in his position.
The fact that they couldn't do that last year was very frustrating. And then the fact that I want to go with Austin Jackson getting injured was almost a blessing in disguise because the guys who are filled in
too. Kind of with Liam Eichenberg.
The guys who are filling in are playing better.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's odd. It's an odd, and we don't want anyone to be injured. We're fans of everybody on the team. I'm hoping, at least maybe Austin Jackson could be a great swing guy. It sucks that we're trying to fit a, first round pick.
Is he coming back this week? I think.
I don't know. We still don't have clarity on it yet.
Same thing
with Byron Jones too. We don't have clarity on that.
That's been the most frustrating. And I've talked to anyone and anyone. I mean, people close to the organization. Nobody has an answer.
So I get mixed reviews on that because I've talked to people. You do this long enough, you meet enough people. They're feeling comfortable, like they're working stuff out. Like this was from what I've been told in the totality of it.
Yeah,
it kind of seems like the Dolphins were talking money with him and working something out, and he was gonna, that he was gonna get some money up front, but they were shopping him in the trade market. His people found out he takes elective surgery.
That's what
now we're at a standstill.
Yeah, I was thinking that because going into the year, I was like, he's been good, but I thought he was definitely overpaid since we had to give X the money. And my conspiracy was like, hey, he got wind of us maybe shopping him to build more depth. And they're like, well, let's wait until after the trade deadline. And now here we are, week 1 after the trade deadline. Like maybe I hope that we see him after the bye week, which is fine because we need him for the playoffs. If you want to have a playoff run, you need him desperately, especially because we're beat up back there.
And I'm hearing that that's kind of the case, and it's kind of one of two ways, too.
It makes sense. It really does.
If he gets traded no matter what, team, they're going to want to work out money. They're going to want to pay. He's got to put some film on there. He's been on IR. You know what I'm saying? So he's got to put some film on. Ain't nothing like putting on film, winning football games on a team clicking, and in some playoffs. Because hopefully we get in some playoffs.
I would be shocked if he was on the team next year, just because of how much money he is, and he's been banged up. And I know he's not an interception guy, and he's a coverage guy, but it just doesn't. It just doesn't. It seems like we have
Well, we've been spending money in other ways. The funds got to get allocated to somewhere else. You can't be paying 2 lockdown corners and a brand new pass rusher and a tackle and 100.
Because in 3 years we're going to be in a weird situation when you have to play Tua, Waddle, and Holland because they're all going to be. Because you're going to pick up that.
JP. Don't forget about Jalen Phillips.
Yeah. I mean, well, at least with Tua, we'll pick up the 5th-year option, so he'll be with that group, and then hopefully you can do that. But you won't be able to do that with Waddle. He's going to be like, no, I'm not. You're not picking up my 5th-year option. I'm going to want the money year 4.
Well, maybe they can get out in front of it, pay it early. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Thank
I
God
don't
that
know
ain't
how
my
that works.
job, bro.
To me,
Thank God
money
that ain't my job.
is fake in that world. It seems like all these teams figured it out somehow. I don't
Well,
even know
yeah,
how.
they borrow. Well, that's kind of what we've done with the Tannehill thing in the tanking year and 2020. We weren't getting things. We paid things we wanted to be linchpins 5 years down the road that we were certain about, quote unquote. But we've cleared our future. So there's like cap in future we could buy and do that type of stuff, and that's how we can manipulate. Right now, we're pretty good. We've only restructured one contract, and that's what's his
X.
name? Well, no, we
Ooh,
already signed him, so he's got a whole new deal.
okay.
Like shaking someone down to take money now to get money this moment. We just
Oh
did that
yeah.
with Baker for Bradley Chubb. So they've got cap's gonna go up. Some moves are gonna be made. I think we all kind of see the Byron Jones thing coming. No
Yeah.
one will be shocked
For
unless.
picks, for at least picks, so we can get some younger guys in there. We'll see what what's the practice squad guy. He's played okay. Kodu,
Cater Kohu, yeah, he's been
Gator
murdering
Kodu,
it, bro.
and then you listen.
He's like top 10 amongst all rookies.
Is that like a PFF stat?
No, I want to say it's like ESPN rating or something like that.
Great.
It's like literally he's like number 9 or 10 and like all rookies. That includes running backs, quarterbacks, everything.
That's great.
He's killing it right now.
Oh yeah, and then I almost want to say, like, although I didn't hear his name much against the Bears, but uh, Noah has kind of inched his way out of not of being a bust
Yeah.
a little bit, but he's
Yeah.
still that third to be a first round pick. It's still annoying
It is
because that could have
yeah.
been Jonathan Taylor.
Oh
He
my
was
God!
picked
I
right
think we
before Jonathan
all
Taylor.
think that. I think we all think.
Yeah.
That. I think they do the running back pickup at the perfect time. I don't know. You know how you see how we get down running backs. I can't.
Well, dude,
Last running
the way
back,
the league is, you don't ever want to draft a running back in the first round, and it
unless
seems yeah.
unless you have that ability, but I don't know anyone who has that ability to draft a running back in the first round. We need offensive linemen. We need
Yeah,
DBs. Those are the guys that
they're
cost a lot
more
of money.
they're more valuable. I mean, a running back is like you're not going to pay a running back after his fourth season. Like the
Well,
Giants are going to pay
that's kind of
Saquon.
why you do get a running back because then
Yeah,
you have them for 4 years with a fifth-year option if you want, and then you say goodbye. And then
yeah.
their sixth, seventh, eighth years. Those are the years you don't have them, and they're not really worth whatever they're getting paid by at that
Or
point.
let some team be an idiot about that. Yeah.
Well, that's what you do. Yeah, you let them buy that
But dude,
problem.
Jeff Wilson, I mean,
Fire.
I think he came in and literally in one quarter was told Mostart like, "Hey, thank you, appreciate everything, but this is my job going forward."
Bro, he literally came in and did everything better than Chase Edmonds week 1.
Yeah.
And how much use they got out of him. They were having him run routes and everything. Buddy
I
picked
mean,
it up immediately.
I think he had what do you have over almost 100 all-purpose yards. He had 54 rushing, maybe
Yeah, and
like
like
25
24, 25, yeah,
receiving,
receiving and a
and then a
touchdown.
touchdown. Um, I
You got a
expect to
game ball.
see, yeah, I expect to see a lot from that. With now they're a threat, and he understands that even more. I mean, you're talking about one thing we hadn't seen Tua really do is doing the annoying dumping the ball, like
Little freaking screen pass
stuff
and little
that Tom
dump
Brady
off.
did his whole career. Like we haven't been seeing really much of that,
Well,
which
if
is
you can look kind of to what the Bears kind of just did to us. They used their running backs in the passing game. I mean, listen, it wasn't as effective against us, but you clear everyone downfield. You put the guy, 2 yards down, and he's got all this running room, and it's irritating. You run out defenses that way, and then the safeties creep up. Then you take it over their head. I think we've been
yeah,
trying that all year. It's been painfully obvious that Mike McDaniel badly wants and needs in this offense a pass catching running back, and now we got one. Thank God.
yeah. I
Why
think
haven't
it's
we seen Miles Gaskin though?
I
We know
think
he
that
can
because
catch.
I just don't. I think that I just don't think he was better than Edwards really in certain situations. Maybe I think that maybe the thing on Gaskins and Ahmed was their pass blocking ability,
Yeah, 100%.
and I think Edmonds was probably a lot better at the pass blocking, which is why you're seeing a little bit more time. Like I mean, one of the most valuable pickups we had is the Ingold one. I mean, the things
Dude,
he's doing
Buddy's a
back there,
monster.
he is picking up a lot of blitzes and really giving Tua that extra time, and so is some of these running backs. So I think that's part of it. We had seen Gaskins; he had a few plays here and there, but those guys are the Dolphin players that in 10 years people will bring up their name, like, oh yeah, I remember him. Like Gaskins, like, we'll always have love for him.
It'll be a trivia question.
He's a Rob Conrad, like, oh, I love that guy. He was great when he was on the team, but
damn, good drop back with the Rob Conrad. I like that. Was dope.
I mean, he was one of the best fullbacks ever. Like, he was great.
I think it was Rob Conrad. Correct me. The chat will correct me if I'm wrong. Who was out in his boat and it sank and he swam back, bro.
Yep.
That's crazy. Sounds
He's
like
also like a financial
thing.
advisor in South Florida and made way more money doing that than playing football. So
true that. Yeah, I mean, a good day success story. Make your bread, bro.
Yeah.
The team, back to what you were saying earlier, hasn't played a complete game. Mike McDaniel, going back to early in the year, he talked about the month of November being when he wants to see, that's when he expects it all to start coming together on offense. Hopefully we find ourselves with that defense we found at the end of last year. It's coming together for them.
I think we can expect that in these next two games. I mean, especially with a bye week before Houston. I mean, Houston's not the best team, right? So having a bye week to prepare for them is, extra good. So these are the two games where you hope to see a full game, like a full complete game. Because after that, it's going to get really hard.
We need to be on point coming.
We need to be 8-3 going into that last stretch, which I believe we will be. And I tweeted this when we were 3-3. I go, "There's no reason to panic. We're going to go 8-3." I mean, I just thought even if we had to, God forbid something crazy happened and we're playing with our backups.
Week 3, and then they'll have in week 4. We got all scared. Oh no, you said we were. Already,
no, when we were 3-3, I was
3-3.
I was like, listen, don't worry. I was like, no room to panic. We're going to be 8-3. Just, we knew the schedule was softer. It's been scary, nail biting a little bit. But even if these next two games are nail biting, I think we'll come out on top. And then, I know people don't like to get ahead of themselves, but if you look at it, if we can split the California games, and then you go 2-2 the rest of the way,
you're going to be able to maybe catch one of them California
games?
I'm
going to both.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I'm gonna fly in for San Francisco.
You get hassled for being a Dolphins fan over in LA?
All LA games are away games for them, for the most part. I mean, it depends.
It's like
Dolphins,
Vegas.
Dolphins fan base travels well. Vegas. I went to the Vegas Dolphins game last year. They're Vegas fans. They got home field advantage there. But like Chargers, I mean, it depends what team it is, but Dolphin fans travel well. I would expect more Dolphin fans in LA than the Chargers, especially the Chargers.
Fran? You're going to go to the San Fran game?
Oh, that will be for sure San Fran. Because mostly LA is San Fran. Like when San Francisco plays here, it's like 80% San Francisco fans. If the Raiders play here, it's mostly Raiders fans. If the Bears have a big fan base, obviously Steelers. Bills were here opening. Chicago Bears travel well. Any old school team has a big fan base. Like if they were popular in the 80s and 70s, Cowboys, Steelers, Bears, Dolphins, they travel well. Especially
we know
when
the
they're
Dolphins
good.
Are huge internationally too. You know what I'm saying? Like we see they're big. I mean, we got people even when they travel to London, it's all Dolphins and stuff like that. So yeah, we know this fan base represents really good. Well, that's cool, man. You're gonna be able to catch the games. I mean, that doesn't always,
I mean, like that's my.
Doesn't always happen. Yeah, it doesn't always happen.
I try to. I was at. If I'm on the road, I'll fly home. Like I flew in for that Steelers game. I was there for that, and then I was there for the Patriots game, opening game. Like, yeah, so anytime I'm close by, I'll go. But I don't know what I'll catch after those two California games. But those are going to be real tests. Even if the Chargers are playing not as best as they are, those are not easy games. Those are real tests right there.
Yeah, I know. It's weird to think because like even the Packers. I mean, the Packers just lost.
Yeah, I won't give myself an automatic win on that, even though they look like trash.
No, and it's on Christmas. That's gonna be a big one. All that stuff. I mean, it is. Man, dude, I like it. The schedule
feels good
looks,
right now.
It does. It feels good. It feels like we should be able to, figure out 12, maybe even 13 wins. Dare I say? I mean, I know it's asking. Dare I say? But like, I look at, a weakened Bills right now at the moment.
Listen, assuming he's healthy, chalk that up for a loss. Okay.
Willing to take it. Yeah.
Yeah, but I am not worried about the Patriots. I'll tell you that. Even in New England, and then the Jets
Patriots are cooked,
at home last game of the season. Oh, like we didn't forget what they fucking did to us. Are you kidding me, dude? I am so pissed about them because first of all, they're in La La Land.
First of all, they're the fucking Jets, bro.
They have Jets. You got to hand it. They have a great young defense, and they're going to be scary going forward.
And they found a good running game too.
Sure, unfortunately, yes, and he got hurt, but he'll come back. We still don't know about Zach Wilson, but they're not going to make the playoffs. This is like, I mean, it would take a lot for them. Cincinnati has a rough schedule, but I mean, and I know the West is trash right now with the Raiders and Broncos, but like, we're going to fucking hand it to them the last game of the season. You don't think we're going to forget, especially the way they won? We were in the game. Jason Sanders misses a field goal, which would have
we melted down in the fourth quarter, and we were reeling on offense. You
had 3 turnovers in a row with Skylar Thompson. I'm like, bro, are you kidding me? Like, this is not going to even be a thing. So I'm not worried about those last 2 games. Green Bay, we're better. San Francisco's the real test, and the Chargers the real test. I mean, listen, we get to 8-3, we're looking good, guys. That's all I'm saying. I'm telling you, I would bet right now that we're going to see a playoff game.
It's weird because we're Dolphins fans,
yes.
And we've always, it's South Florida. We got swagger. We're willing to always bet on our team. But
assuming everyone stays healthy,
different. It definitely feels immensely different right now with the way this offense is. Just the firepower. It's and you know what too. Historically, we've seen Tyreek Hill take over a game or two. He'll have 200 yards in a quarter, something crazier and a half. He's been killing it all year. I still haven't seen him take a game over like those 2 I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Where he houses one after making 4 dudes look like idiots and just deuces somebody. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
we still could get one of them.
I think we're being a little, we're being a little greedy. I mean, we've seen some, but we haven't seen some like. We want to see that big explosion, and you know what, man? I will say this. Tua's playing great. He did miss 2 big throws there, and it's fine because every quarterback. Listen, Allen missed 2 throws last week.
The game.
He threw 2 picks.
Against the Dolphins, he missed the throw. It cost him the game.
Which, although in my head, I'm like, if they score there, there's still enough time for us to get in field goal range. I was okay, but we did stop them. God, that was a fucking scary moment when we had to take the safety and everything. Ugh. But we won. But I will say all these guys miss throws every game. I mean, I think Mahomes throw a pick the other night. Like, so they throw picks, but God, how good would it have been if he makes that throw to Waddle? And that wasn't, by the way, I know people take shots at his arm strength. It is a thing to a point, and they're like, oh, some of them are underthrown. Some aren't. They're not all, as Colin Coward's like, they're all underthrown. They're like, no, they're not. Okay, first of all, the one with the pass interference to Tyreek Hill, he can't really throw any further than that. Otherwise, it's out of bounds.
Where else was he going to put it? Yeah. It was the best throw. It was. Okay. You're talking about the touchdown, right?
No. Not the. You're talking about the.
Oh,
Ravens
well,
one?
the one that would have been a touchdown to Tyreek Hill in the end zone where he came back and
to
tried
the Bears.
To get it.
Yes.
Yeah.
If he goes any further, it's out of bounds. So it's like he just had to. It had to be a kind of a jump ball throw. But that Waddle one at the end of the game, man. If he kind of, you saw him just kind of like, he didn't put all of it on there. Like he was trying to time it right. But he's got to start thinking like,
so I
can't overthrow these guys. I can't overthrow them.
That's what I was gonna say. I have a theory that he's kind of like Mike McDaniel, as we see with his play calling in the fourth quarter, where we got the lead and he kind of like changes plays, and like they're kind of getting, as one of the co-hosts on the channel, Color says, getting galaxy brained. You know, they're kind of overthinking it, and we know how Tua is. You know, he takes his craft seriously as far as his accuracy goes. I think he's trying to throw accurate footballs downfield, and that's cool and all.
Yeah.
Not to Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. Put that bitch 20 yards out in front of them. They're going to get there.
He had him beat, and what a way to win the game, because it would have been a touchdown. It would have been his 4th touchdown of the game, and it was a 3rd down play. I thought McDaniel got conservative there in the end, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Running it twice up the middle is just like, they know
Bro, it
what
gets
are we
me
doing?
nervous. Even going back to the Jets game, like just some of these all the way back.
The short play calling is a little concerning. I get he's a rookie coach,
Bro, we
but
were
like
torching them in that freaking. They had no
so why
answer
did we
for
get
the
conservative there in the
why?
end and even give them a chance was annoying. But man, he missed that throw on Waddle, and then he kind of did a Josh Allen to Smythe right there at the end. He had him wide open, and he got a little jittery on that fourth and one.
It's kind of that's.
It's not an easy throw, but it's
Dude,
like you got to make that
people
throw.
were making such a big deal about it too. They're like,
yeah.
I mean, bro, it like
It's
that's
not a big
that's
deal.
I wish I would have had that. It's like
So
taking a
I would've
shot
had it
on
big. It's not a big
basketball.
deal.
Yeah,
Exactly. It's not a big deal because listen, we've watched Allen do that, and
everybody does it.
Tua's also made amazing throws throughout the game. Sure, he wants that one back, and he wants the Waddle one back for sure. But I mean, even going
like
back
the
to
Pittsburgh
that
game where we're like,
Pittsburgh game was
bro,
weird. Yeah,
that one made a lot of nerve.
Shaky.
Yeah, shaky.
It was
a lot of questions.
He kind of like was that. He looked like, you know what that game reminded me of? Like the opening game last year against the Patriots. Like we had some good plays, but then like he threw some shaky passes where you're like, what the hell's going? It just that's all it was. It was a rust thing. Whereas again, he's only played 28 games now, so it's like
I think we forget this is his third year in a career in the NFL. We're like
24 games.
We should have redshirted him his first year. You
well,
know what I'm saying?
But that goes to the conspiracy of I think Ross was pressuring. I think Ross was telling Flores, I want to see him, and Flores was like, no. And I think even the offensive coordinator Gailey came out and said, he's like, we were all thrown off. We thought it was going to be Fitzpatrick the whole way, and it probably was going it. And you can tell Flores wanted to do that, and then he forced.
Well, I think we all thought,
yeah.
Our bye week that year was week 11 or 10.
Yeah.
And then it got moved up, and so they stuck with the plan, but the timetable got moved up, and then they just adjust, bro. Like relax.
I think he should have sat out the whole year, and it would have been just this whole narrative would have been changed. It would have been a totally different thing if he just sat back. And I think Flores might even still be here because it would have been under his circumstances. He would have been like, let me. I think he was pressured into doing it too quickly, and then in year 2 he got frustrated with the development, and then their personality, their relationship got a little sour, and then here we are. But going back, the one thing I hated about that Chicago, that the way we handled that first half, the end of it was very frustrating. Do you remember how that happened? We get a first down. There's 42 seconds left. Mostart runs out.
Oh, the second half. Yeah.
We don't call a timeout. So instead of calling a timeout, we rush the guys out
10-second runoff.
We have a 12-man penalty, 10-second runoff. We have to use another timeout. So now it's 2nd and 15. Instead of calling a timeout, having plenty of time, doing a pat, I just felt like that was a big blow, and then it leads to a missed field goal. I just felt like we could have had a touchdown there, and that was kind of.
You think about it too, like it kind of, I forget what game it was, but we ran a third down. Like halfback dive to Chase Edmonds, and then we went for it on 4th down. This was like 2 weeks ago.
The Steelers game.
Yeah, and then he did it again.
And yeah, dude, on the 4th and 2, they ran it. I thought that was weird. I was like, how about this? I don't know what your memory is like with the Dolphins, but do you remember Tua's first year? His first year, he did show signs of stardom against the Cardinals. He was going back and forth with Murray. You were like, okay.
Yeah.
And then the Chiefs game. All right, yes. They jump out to like a 31-14 lead, and we fight back, and we are down 3, and the Chiefs are driving, and they have the ball, and it's 4th and 1, and they do a little play where they run Tyreek across, they call hike, and he just runs straight cross, and all they had to do was, bam.
Yep, just use his speed.
And he picked up this first down, and then that was the first down to win the game and run the clock out. I am waiting for them to do that. Like, why have we not done that with Tyreek on these 4th and 1s? Like, you have the fastest player in the NFL on that 4th and 2 inside the 5-yard line against the Steelers. We went for it. It's 16-10. They're like, why didn't you kick a field goal? It was 8 minutes left in the third quarter. He thought he would have many other opportunities. So I understand not kicking the field goal. But, like, why are we not doing these quick little outs to Tyreek or Waddle? Instead, you're trying to hand it off to a running back with an O-line that is not particularly good at run blocking.
Yeah, so, and there's something to be said, and there's a portion of the fan base that says this too, that McDaniel's not calling those, because when he does in those games, we were talking the Niners, the playoffs, hopefully, like that's when it'll work for certain. But I gotta think this is Tyreek Hill. There's nobody that can catch him.
Gonna work.
He's always gonna work, right? Like we don't have to throttle ourselves like this.
Don't you think they're also already thinking about it? They're not going, well, hey, let's not cover Tyreek. They're saving that for the play. Like, shut up. They're like, when Tyreek's lined up, they're already covering him and thinking about it, but then you're just making it easier by just handing it to Edmonds or Mostert. Like, I don't know. Just these 4th and shorts are a little iffy. It worked out in the Bears game. They scored a touchdown to Tyreek, but some of the play calling on short yardage downs has haunted this team, to be honest, the last 3 seasons. It's been scary. It's just like...
Well, that's what I get back to what my guy Color says. It's kind of Gallus. Like, you're overthinking it. There's no need. You match for match on talent, we should be doing it. And really
run an
back
option,
to the Bears
pitch
game.
It out to fucking Mostert. Give him like a Billy, like outrun it, or literally
Waddle.
Waddle or Tyreek.
Yeah,
dude.
But also, we shouldn't even be in that position with how much we were eating them up. And Tua was just straight having his way with them. And there's something to say that how we even ended up in that situation by Tua, by him running the football. And it seemed like this whole rhythm of play calling was different, and like okay, on first down, we ran in the first half. We ran the ball 7 times and passed the ball 8 times. On first down in the second half, we passed the ball 4 times and ran it 9, and it's just like
fun stat. I didn't even know that. That's interesting.
And some of those bad first. No gain. Yeah, no. Yeah, like why? Like I
think
get
part of it was like game management, clock management, because the Bears had fast
you want
scores.
them to use their timeouts too.
I just don't. I'm
here. Don't worry about it.
Okay, I was just more like.
My camera went.
I think going forward, we just got to be like, hey man, if it's 3rd and 2, let's just stop trying to run it here. Stop trying to run it. We're not good at it right now.
Yeah. Well, in some ways we are, but like, let's take the easy money when something's working all day long. Give me some easy money every now and again. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, the play to Smythe was a good play. It just was his last option, and he was rolling out to the right. He's a lefty, so and listen, I think if you do that play, 8 out of 10 times he makes the throw. So it's just an unfortunate situation.
Well, did you see what Tua said about that play when he was asked about it in his in his interview? He essentially said that Smythe was looking and then looked back out on the turned back away to see where he was going.
An improv play.
Well, it wasn't necessarily improv play. I just think that Smythe looked back, and when Tua looked to find him, Smythe looked back away again for that split second, and Tua kind of hesitated. And it was just like damn.
Oh, he thought
he didn't want to throw it on when he wasn't looking at him, you know what I'm saying? And so he kind of stopped, but went. He just kind of like this. It all happened in a moment's notice. But
either way, my whole thing is run that play on 3rd down, and then I don't know. Maybe you kick a field goal there too and go up 6, and then knowing there was 8 minutes left, if they did score a touchdown, there was going to be plenty of time for us to get in field goal range. But maybe he didn't have confidence in Sanders because of. I mean, the guy's missed a field goal in 4 of the last 5 games.
It's everybody used to call him Jason Moneyman Sanders, bro. Everybody knew him as Jason.
2020, man.
I know, bro. That was a long time ago. Last year, okay, we had Pilardi. He's messing up the holds.
That's what they say. They keep listen. People want to keep giving holds as an excuse. I'm like, all right.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I could see how that could be a real problem. The communication.
Then then that's a coaching problem, because why is this guy still in there then? Replace that immediately. There's got to be some guy on the street.
Pilardi didn't punt good enough to keep around here too. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sure there's plenty of guys out there that are really skilled at doing that. Pay them $200,000 and get them out there then to do that.
Thomas Morstead is
he's a stud.
He's almost 40 years old. He's been a killer.
Best punter I've ever seen.
Bro, guys. Well, I mean, I don't know.
Killing it for us.
Remember when we had Jason Hawk or Matt
I thought
Hawk?
Hawk was fine. Yeah, I thought he was okay.
The year that he left to get paid, but he was pretty dope at it. But yes, we're 26-yard field goal can't have miss, bro. We can't be shaking.
You can't have a miss on that, and you can't. Listen, he's missed 3 50-yarders this year. That's where you need to be. I mean, bro, I'm telling you right now, you never know what happens, but even in that Cincy game, Tua goes out, we kick a field goal, we would go up 9-7. He misses it. The next play, Burrow throws a touchdown pass.
Well, you see what happens. It sucks the life right out of the football team when some shit like that
So
happens.
I think it changed a lot in the Cincy game, and even in the end, if he makes that field goal, we don't even need Bridgewater throwing that interception. We're in field goal range to win. That's one thing. And then even against the Vikings, he missed a field goal where it would have changed the momentum. We would have still be in it. And then the defense gets excited when they are like, for whatever reason, this defense is like, hey, if you get a stop, we're going to win. They play great in those situations. It's the other times that they don't. They did it with Baltimore, right? And then he missed a big one against the Jets that time that would have taken the lead. And then the defense would have been like, all we do is do one stop and we can run the clock out. We miss it. They go down, they score a touchdown. Next play, we get a fumble. It just all becomes a disaster.
Yeah, it snowballed into an absolute shit show.
Even without Tua, we had a chance to win all 3 of those games. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's
scary.
And the defense kept us in those games all the way up until the fourth quarter.
Yes,
offense had their woes. Offense had their woes. And I mean, look, when we talk about Mike McDaniel being a rookie time head coach, we really got and criticism. I think this is why a lot of Dolphin fans, well, I don't want to say smart Dolphin fans, but we were able to be critical of wanting better things. So we can say, yeah, coach is having some green moments. He's still a rookie head coach, play calling, stuff like that. Those 3 losses, if we look at it, first of all, those are his 3 losses, the only ones we got. He's had your starting quarterback, and then you lost him. And all 3 games, bro. Yeah. Like when it's written at the end of the year, when we take the totality of the data, we're gonna go, oh yeah, so I mean, that's not actually too bad, rookie head coach. I mean, I think
it's been some crazy,
ways
man.
we're spoiled, and then in other ways we're like starved at the same time. It's weird. It's like
this is the whole point of the thing, though. What would we talk about? We can't come on here and be like, it's great. See you guys next week, man. Everything's fucking great, dude.
Yep,
nothing to talk about. Perfect.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like
that ain't no lie.
That's what's fun about it is like, okay, so this works finally, but what about this? What about that? Like it's more fun to also critique. What do you mean? That's funny. Why do you guys all love Larry David? Because he's fucking complaining all the time.
Bro, I love Larry David.
It's funny because he's old and he's complaining, and
he's a crotchety fucking man. It's hilarious.
I'm gonna be like that when I'm old. You're just gonna complain about shit. That's what it is with football. It's like, listen, man, you gotta fix something because no one's perfect, and also it's like, great. What's up with the defense now?
And you know what? There's something to be said with the people, with their fortitude to remain when they're like, yeah, everything's fine, everything's burning behind them and stuff like that. There's like those bubbly person. I just, don't lie to me, bro. You know what I'm saying? Don't tell me shit looks good. Don't give me excuses. It's shitty day. Call it how it is. Yeah. I mean, let's not bullshit ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Come on.
Hey, Tua, the offense looks greght. Jason Sanders. Hey, man, fucking do something.
Get your shit together, dog. You're getting ready to lose your fucking job.
watch, I don't know, do something. Go out there, get a few drinks, meet some girls, whatever you got to boost your confidence up.
Yeah,
get your head back in there, dude. Yeah, I don't know what you got to do, but I need to feel good. I don't want to be sitting here going, he's kicking a 48-yarder or a 52-yarder and be like, I don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, man. If there's going to be a game, especially down the stretch, where we're going to need him to kick a big field goal, man. It's just going to happen, whether it's against Buffalo or the Jets or the Pats or the Chargers or 49ers. I don't expect it in these next 2 weeks, but we're going to need him to kick a field goal.
Even in these next 2 weeks, we've seen what's happened when he misses it. Other than this last game, it's thrown the momentum to the other football team.
But, hey, man, it made it a nail-biter. Like, if he does make that field goal, it's less stressful. So, hey, man, I don't want to die at 80, man. You're taking years away from my life, specifically you. Yes, do I have a problem that I care about football too much? Yes, but you can help it by maybe doing your job a little bit better so I don't get angry.
Please help a brother out. We're not
asking
so much. Yes.
Hey, it's more than football. Every time you consistently make a field goal, people live longer. It's a
Yeah.
stat that's true. You're better than a doctor, so why don't you get your job?
Ooh, he's
There
almost
you
like
go.
a medicine man at this point, bro. He's almost
You
like
are.
a medicine man. That's fucking
He's-
good. Yeah, I like that. Look, again, coaching, I think to the same point where my criticism with Mike McDaniel and late of these games, like, hey man, don't be nice to that team. Don't throttle them. Let's just go up, run this bitch up, put 50 points on these assholes. Stop.
I want another
want
6
it, bro.
touchdown game. I
Yes.
want one more. Give me one more.
Give
and
me
then you can do,
25,
like,
Mo.
Give me. I want him to be like I want to be like easily over 30 touchdown passes this year. Just give me that. I want to have a Madden stat sheet where I'm like, okay, this is what I've been doing on Madden for the last 20 years, and it finally happened realistically. I want to play Madden, and it's not unrealistic what I did.
You don't have to change any of the Dolphins already there.
No, I'm just like, like all the years before I was with Tannehill throwing 44 touchdowns. It's like, what are we doing? This isn't realistic.
Yeah,
Jarvis
Tannehill's
Landry has 2,000 yards receiving. No, now it's realistic. I can have 2,000 yards receiving with Tyreek.
Yeah, well, I mean, bro, and he might. You know, and you've heard the Tua MVP conversations and stuff like that.
It's like I said, if he goes if he this week he does another 3 touchdowns or 4 touchdowns and 300 yards, he's officially in the talk. But if he just has to do it one more game. Right now it's like, oh look at that. He missed 3 games. That's pretty interesting. Wonder what would have happened. Hey, if he does it this week, you can officially say for the first time in 30 years, for the first time in 30 years, a Miami Dolphin is in the MVP talks. That's what you could say.
What about
maybe since Ricky
Hill? What about Tyreek Hill MVP?
Offensive
I know no
player of
wide
the year.
receiver. I know no wide receivers ever won it, and he's on pace to hit the 2,000.
He'll be as close as Cup was last year. That's the thing. He'll be a top 3 candidate.
But if he goes back to what I said though, he gets those 2 games where he goes over 200 yards and over 2 touchdowns, and it comes against like
big games.
Yes, huge games.
Like the 49ers or something.
Yeah, anywhere from like 175 and up and two touchdowns.
If he smokes the record and gets 2,100, the thing is he's just got to add more TDs. That's the thing. He only has 3. So he's got to but
MVP though, MVP, most valuable player. So like he's got to like take a game over and be the reason we win. So I'm thinking, and it can't just be against the Texans. It's got to be the Niners game. He does that. He has 200 yards against the Niners and 2 touchdowns, and then goes and does it on Christmas.
Then he has a chance of being talked about. Yes,
he might be the first wide receiver ever to do it. And you know how it gets political too, where everyone's unanimous. Aaron Rodgers should win and doesn't, but he wins next year when it was a little bit closer. When you're
the thing is, it will hurt Tua and him because they'll both get votes if he does do stuff like that.
Ooh,
you know,
see, so we're working.
You know what I mean?
Ourselves.
It will avoid it, and then because as of right now it's Jalen Hurts, and then you would say second Mahomes, but
is Jalen Hurts like that team's a complete type team.
Sure,
I wouldn't call him being playing MVP ish. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, as of right now, I have to because of just because they're the undefeated team. Or I mean, Mahomes has 21 touchdowns. I guess you would say Josh Allen too. But I mean, listen, if Tua keeps doing what he does, if he misses time, then we're talking about fighting for that 1 seed. That's all. You know, if he doesn't play this week,
let me see if I can find it. I actually have like the Vegas odds. Give me a second. Oh, here it is.
They didn't change the line.
Mahomes is favored right now.
Yeah, and then you probably have
Mahomes is the favorite at plus 200. Jalen Hurts plus 250. Josh Allen plus 350. Tua is in 4th place right now.
Yeah,
with plus 800.
That changes this week. If he throws 3 to 4 touchdowns and 300 yards and no picks, I'm telling you, it's going to be fun watching. I'll be watching Rich Eisen all day, every day, because as a Jet fan, he is a big Tua fan, and he's fun to watch. I can't. I will be tweeting at Colin too. I'll be, come on, bro.
You know, I watched Rich Eisen, and I hear you on that. I don't know. I'm thinking, like, I watch him. I think he's thinking, great Tua, because he's thinking about his own quarterback. Yeah, Wilson will be able to become the new Tua.
Rich, out of all the people, is not an actor. He keeps it real. Like, whereas Colin is an actor, Stephen A. Smith is an actor. These guys are all in Hollywood trying to, like, make money and be celebrities. Rich is like, I'm a family guy, love the NFL, been involved with them for years. I tell it how I think. I'm not always right. I'll admit when I'm wrong. Still isn't sold on Zach, but loves what the Jets are doing. But he's always been on the Tua train. That is one thing I appreciate about him.
Yeah, you're right. He has always kind of been on it. So
He's like,
yeah.
he's special, man. He does this little thing with his cards. He'll be like, I'll tell you what, man.
Nice.
A special guy over there, you know? And I don't say this often, but guess who joined it? He's elite. He's elite, and I said it here first. Tua is an elite quarterback. That's how I think. And that's what he does with his little note card.
That was good. Getting into acting yourself, I see. I got you. That's good. Yeah, man. It's a good situation. I mean, bro, especially after last year, I don't think any of us even could, to be even talking about Tua and MVP and not feel like an idiot or even be stupid about it. Granted, and you're right, do it another time against an opponent that really we should, well, listen, the Browns, good football team, got great running backs, good defense, got a freaking defensive player of the year type of cat with Myles Garrett on the edge. Tua throws, like you said, 3 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns, 300 yards ish.
You can't argue it.
You can't, man. That really puts that nail all the way down.
Next 2 games, it can be a lot of fun for us. If we continue to play how we played, I think that we're facing 2 teams that offensively are not going to be as good as what we've matched up against, and neither of their defense is very scary. So if Tua can play great in these next 2 weeks, there's no reason that going into San Francisco he will not be an MVP candidate.
Yeah, I mean, we've continued to struggle with running quarterbacks, as you know, and Justin Fields reminded us of that. And even when our guys,
well, thankfully we don't have to face one until Buffalo. So
that's right. But running backs defense has done pretty decent. I think they're averaging 55 yards a game to running backs. That's what it is.
Let me. Can I grab my charger real quick?
Yeah. Guys, while we're waiting, hit the like button, subscribe. If you're watching on Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter, Michael Lenoci, check his stuff out. We'll make sure to touch base to see where he's, what he's doing, going into comedy shows. He was just in Savannah, Georgia, on tour with a couple of guys, picking up the shows. Funny. The crowd work is hilarious, bro. Straight, it's hilarious. Right with the theme of it all. So yeah, everybody hit the like button right now, please. That would be much appreciated. Much appreciated.
Yo.
Yeah, you're good. That was a perfect time. I just went ahead and gave everyone the hit the like button type stuff, and
Perfect.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. So the one thing about the Browns game, I will say, it's a little disrespectful, the spread.
What's the spread right now?
3.5.
Huh. I know they're all on that.
Let me double check too now.
I think they're all on that. The Browns just beating whatchamacallit.
I think it could be that they're coming off a bye week too, and
That's
I think
all?
maybe
Yeah.
obviously our defense, but 3.5 at home with the way our offense. I mean,
Yeah,
I guess
it's
they
only
have
a
a
half
good
a
pass
point.
rush, but 3.5 is like.
Yeah, the home team always gets like 3. That's
An
regular
automatic.
spread.
You're only giving us a half a point, so I would have thought we could be more at like 5. I mean, I would take Dolphins -6. At 7.5, maybe I'd be like, all right, that could be. There's a late score touchdown in the fourth quarter, but you dominated the game. You're up 10. Maybe they kick a field goal. Whatever. But 3.5 is just like. I mean, I guess their last game was against Cincinnati, who's been playing great. But
the Dolphins should. I don't want to say should, but we should win by a fucking touchdown, bro. Like this, and maybe the score shows it's close.
I guess we only beat Chicago by 3, but that's in Chicago. And then Detroit, what was that game? 35-31, 4-point game.
Yeah, but their offense was what, 4th in the NFL when we faced them. They've been scoring lots of
Yeah,
points
they've
on
been
everybody.
scoring. They have,
been
and then
good.
also Fields has been on a roll too. So it's just like, I think that our defense has been playing well at home. That's the one thing that has been consistent. They're not good on the
Yes.
road. At home, they are good.
At home, they're getting
At home, we do get
interceptions,
turnovers.
sacks.
Yes.
Yeah,
We had
we
the
show
Bills
out in the
turnover, the
house.
Patriots turnover,
Yep.
Steelers turnover. I guess the Minnesota game was the only really they were playing great until the end with
Yep.
that last run by Dalvin Cook. We are still kind of in it. Yeah, I mean, I'll never take the under in any of the Dolphins games going forward, just because of the way the defense is played, and we are now putting up points. We've hit the over 3-4 weeks in a row, so 3 weeks in a row.
Dolphins against the spread these last couple of years have really beat the spread more often than not. So unless we're unfavored in it, but like when we're favored in it, we always beat that spread. So not easy money, but I'm feeling confident in a victory. Could find ourselves in a dogfight
again. I will say this: if we're in a dogfight, then we're very frustrated at the defense's run defense. Then I highly doubt we're gonna see a Brissett 3-touchdown game. Amari Cooper's just murdering Xavier Howard, who hasn't been the same. I understand, but I just don't see it. The only thing that if it is a close game, I don't see it being it because of Brissett and them scoring a lot of touchdowns or Chubb running all over us. It's because we're not for whatever reason the Browns have slowed our offensive down, and it's like a 21-17 game.
Good luck doing that, bro.
Yeah, because I know that they have Myles Garrett, right? Is he back yet? I'm not positive, but I don't know their cornerback situation.
Yeah, I don't really know their cornerback situation. I know they got a good decent football team.
They got a defensive offensive line. They have a great run game, and they have a great defensive front four, which we get the ball out of the hands quick. We've also faced we faced Detroit has the best rookie defensive end, right? Hutchinson, and then there's teams out there that we've faced with defense. I mean, I guess we're arguably facing one of the best defensive ends in the NFL this week. But so we just got to make sure he doesn't hit Tua.
Well, against Armstead, I feel pretty decent about it. On the other side, Keon Smith's been pretty good as far as right tackle, and since he's been out there, I feel pretty good about it.
Yeah.
Still, that's one of the best defensive pass rushers in the game. So he's gonna kind of get his, but Mike McDaniel and Tua, as you said, that quick passing game negates a lot of that stuff, bro. He's been dicing and slicing and stuff like that. I don't know. We'll have to see how they handle that, how the defense stacks up against the offense in game. I don't know if we'll find that second level success, that Tua had last game. I mean, he was just everything over 12 plus yards was just he had time, clean pockets. It's
been pretty interesting. I think they're just they really are scared of Tyreek, and I mean, Waddle's having an amazing year too. It's just crazy. It's just so overshadowed by Tyreek.
It is.
I mean, the guy's got 800 yards already. I mean, he's on pace for 1,600 yards receiving. That's crazy. I don't know what our franchise record is. If someone could pull that up quick, I mean, that it can't be
for yards
receiving yards in a season.
It's 1,300 and change. Yes,
that's
I swear. Yes, I swear.
Even with Marino,
bro.
OJ never got 1,300. Brandon Marshall never got 1,300.
Bro, I'm telling you, it was like 1,300.
So they're both gonna crush that.
They're gonna shatter it. Both of them are gonna break
both
it.
Of them.
Yes. And
so
it was,
Duper or Clayton never had over 13.
I think it was Duper that got 13. I can't remember exactly who it was. Maybe Color was in the back. Maybe he could look that up and put it in private chat or pop up here. But yes, it was that. Oh, what, you got that stat, Color? Do you have that stat? Hold on, let me see.
Yeah, I don't have controls tonight. I don't have it yet, but I'll look into it. And just to say that, keep in mind, back in the old paradigm, 1,300 yards in a season was like
1,700
page news back then. You know what I mean?
It was 1,389 yards by Mark Clayton.
Wow.
Yeah, it was one of the Marks brothers, and that was the record. I mean, that he might beat that this week.
And Duper has the franchise record with 869 yards.
I've already lost power once, Capitan, so I'm gonna go ahead and ask some questions of our guest here. If you don't mind.
Please do. Go ahead.
How you doing, Michael? Good to meet you,
man.
Hey, man.
Good to meet you, dude.
So everybody gets the same question. You're a Dolphin fan, so which logo do you roll with? Which is your favorite?
It's obviously the throwback. I mean, everybody loves that. I
So
mean,
which one? Like this throwback or like this one?
no. 80s throwback. 80s
80s.
Marino rookie year throwback. Not
See,
70s,
Right.
80s
I
throwback.
like the 2000s throwback when the
Really?
Dolphins got it's got like the
Like that
mean
one on the
looking-
wall right there.
The Dolphins got a glare in its eye and stuff like that.
And
I,
so-
I thought that was the perfect adaptation to getting it. Like, you don't mess with it any more than that. But now they just changed it completely.
But this
So-
one's fine too.
It's
just-
not
So I understand.
It's changing with time.
I understand. You're a joke maker.
I guess that's what people just say I do that, but I'm kind of just myself, and then I guess I do well with it.
Man, it's something I always wanted to do, man. I just,
Well, good thing you didn't.
ironically,
try.
I never had balls enough to get up on stage and talk to people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. That's pretty much half the battle right there. Is if you can go up every day and even fail, then you got the balls to do it, because that's it. Then the rest of it is just learning.
Right on.
That's
right
half
on.
the battle, man.
Where do people usually find you at to see your show?
I mean, I perform, like, I live in LA, so like tonight I'll be at the Laugh Factory. I do the Improv, sometimes the Comedy Store. That's mostly where I work my stuff out, kind of play around, do my stuff, and then sometimes I tour with some other bigger comedians to get exposure and make
Cool.
more money. And then I'll do some of my own local stuff, like, whether I go to San Diego or San Fran, or sometimes I'll, I'm trying to work on something in Orlando around Christmas, a one-nighter. But I'll do some one-nighters in Florida sometimes. But, you just that's part of the hustle too, is working on gigs and finding out where you can do gigs. And usually for a guy like me, I try to stay in A markets, which are the big cities, because it's easier to sell tickets there.
Right. Well, if you ever find yourself parachuting out of a plane in some kind of comedy action thriller, just remember us little people over here in South Florida, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're getting on screen with the Rock and shit.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's a long ways away if that ever happened.
That's my way of wishing
I
the
would
best
say
for
no.
you.
Thank you. Yeah, yeah.
And
I'd
good
be
to
more-
meet you.
I- Thank you. Good to meet you too, man.
All right, Color. If you find any stats, wave me down. I'll bring you up.
Yeah, we're about to get stamped by the south eye wall of this damn storm where I'm at. So I'm just
He's in
kind of like
he's in West Palm, so
power
he's-
already went out once. I'm kind of like it's like but my windows ain't the strongest, so I'm gonna have a pretty hairy night.
Well, hang in there for us. Just put some cement shoes on or something.
yeah, man, you'll be all right. All right,
Not
Color.
a bad idea. Later, guys.
Yeah. See you, man.
Yeah, I always have him come up to ask the same question. It's the which logo question,
Yeah.
I think most of us would say the new logo, but I tell you what, they win a Super Bowl with this logo. It'll be my favorite logo of all time because I got to see that.
Dude, my whole thing is my last dog I had, his name was Wade.
What? So
After Dwayne Wade.
you're
So
a big Heat fan?
I'm a Heat fan, but I won't get another dog until there's a championship won in South Florida. And then whoever wins the championship, whether it's the Heat or Dolphins, which those are the only two that probably will, because I don't care about hockey. But, whoever does is when I'll get a new dog.
I see you're waiting to name
'cause
your
then
dog
I'm
Tua.
hoping that I can name my dog Tua. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
Tua,
it-
come here,
it-
Tua.
I mean, it could, unless like Waddle became Super Bowl MVP, then that's a fun name, Waddle. But I'd rather name Tua. Yeah, I hope it's Tua. I don't
You know
want to have
what?
to name. I don't want to have to
Depending
name
on
my
the
dog.
dog.
I don't want to have to name him Hero. Like I don't want to, or Butler. Like that would be. It could be a little racist. So
Depending on the dog, Tyreek might be a fire name for a dog.
it could be.
Yeah,
But Tua
gotta
is
find
just,
the right dog.
It's just it depends who wins us that Super Bowl if we get there. So I hope it's in the next few years. So
God, man, dude, I got.
I'll go there.
tattoos.
I'll tell you
I
what,
got,
man. I'll
I got-
fucking go.
Oh, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna be in the parking lot at the very minimum. I'm gonna be there for the parade. Yeah, if I can't get a ticket, because you know how it could get, especially in Miami.
Whatever. Then we put the card down.
Yeah, we'll just straight post up in that
Dude, I've
bad
waited
boy.
38 years. You think I'm gonna pass up that opportunity?
Bro, I don't care. I might lose my job over having to go
100.
see that game.
It's worth it. It's worth it. It will all get fixed out. It will all get fixed.
I'll worry about that shit after I'm a fucking Super Bowl champ. I'll worry about that shit later.
If they go to Super Bowl, you'll do a live show in the parking lot. I'll do it.
Yeah, there you go. Freaking straight up.
If they go to Super Bowl, I'll get your flight. I'll meet you in Phoenix. You do a live show, and I'll do it with you in the parking lot.
Man, could you imagine it this year, bro? Who do you think would be? Everyone's talking Philly versus Dolphins Super Bowl.
NFC seems weak, man. It just I don't know who it could be. It just seems like there's only 3 good teams.
NFC, dog.
I mean, Eagles, Cowboys. I mean, the Vikings is the most unthreatening 7-1 team I've ever seen.
Bro, I'm not threatened by the Vikings either. They're
nobody's
me. And the Cowboys. Come on, bro. Dak Prescott. That guy don't fucking scare me.
Because their defense is good, I guess. I don't know.
Whatever.
Everybody's talking about 49ers. They're 4-4. It's like, all right, let's see. You know, we know what their ceiling is with Garoppolo.
Well, we do know what the Niners do. They like ramp up as the year goes. Like they come into the playoffs and they start hitting it. But I mean, like,
here's the thing: Tom Brady's still going to be in the playoffs, so don't sleep on it. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, well, that division's so weak. He's tied for first at 4-5 right now.
I know.
So they're obviously gonna get to host a home game, and you know how he is. You can never go against the GOAT.
Yeah, well, that and you know he's got witchcraft on his side, dude. You can't beat that guy. I mean, that's the only way I can explain it.
Unreal, dude. How haunting would that be if the one time we get to the Super Bowl we had to face fucking Brady and he beat us?
Honestly, I would be down for that. We have been the team that has G-checked him more often
but
than
still,
not.
man, I mean, what a way for a Dolphins fan to like go out and like that would be so annoying.
Yeah, I'd have to fucking find somebody with some Valium and shit just to keep me under control or something, because I'd be fucking way too freaking high. High intense. I mean, dude,
I get intense. Watching these games can ruin my week if it doesn't go well.
Oh well, yeah. I try now not to let it do that. You know, like you know what? But it's so fucking hard, bro.
It's hard, man.
It's hard. You get on, you're like motherfucking damn.
Like that Bears game gave me like I never thought we were gonna lose, but I definitely got very anxious there in the end. I was like,
oh, bro.
I started spiraling. I was like, if for some reason we lose this game, like this is gonna affect me so much. Whereas like I understood losing against like the Vikings and Jets was a little less, like it didn't bother me as much, but like that one was gonna hurt because our offense. Game. Yeah, it was just like it got too close for comfort there in the end. It was a little frustrating.
It did. I don't know. You know, listen. We got time. I feel like this team's mega on the rise offensively, obviously. I feel like the defense going to get it right, and the new pass rusher we got around yonder is going to do some work. I mean, let's
hope so, yeah. Let's see some sacks this week.
Bro, this is the week to get it to happen for certain. This is where, I mean, we know Jacoby Brissett ain't known for his pocket mobility or, you know, flushing out and stuff like that. He moves so slow. I've never seen somebody move so slow.
Stuff the box, man. Let's put 8 in the box. One-on-one on outside. Let these young practice squad guys earn their stripes. And let's just, you know, let's score 5 touchdowns again. No rushing touchdowns, please. I understand we got Wilson and Mostert, but, like, let's just pad the stats. Come on.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. I mean, tons of teams do. Why aren't we padding stats? Where's our pad the stats game where it's like Dolphins just absolutely
had a chance because we've been in nail biters, but yeah, let's have a blowout for once.
Yeah,
we deserve it as fans.
Yeah, let's be sitting come start of the fourth quarter. We're kicking our feet up going. There ain't no way.
Let's watch. We might tune into another game.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe we'll go see what's happening with so-and-so down over here. It would be nice, but we got to see it. And that, honestly, that kind of stuff will help Tua, obviously with padding the stats, to extra solidify this.
You know what?
MVP
Take Tua out of the game. Let's have a game where, like, hey, Tua's sitting for the fourth.
Stroll Skylar Thompson in there. Let him get some work.
Yeah, remember Alabama days? We're back to that. You're sitting in the fourth.
Yes,
we're sitting in the fourth. Fire. How about that? That would be great. This week, Tua sits the fourth quarter. How about that?
Yep. And Skylar
gets some reps.
Skylar gets some reps, and They even throw in Cedric Wilson just to make things funny.
Which he got a catch last week. But yeah, we get Cedric Wilson and Sanders in there, and let's just go.
Damn,
get all the
Sanders
young
going to have
guys
himself
going.
a game too? No
Yeah.
shit. Fourth quarter, Sanders makes 3 field goals. What?
I was talking about that the wide receiver. They got that young
Braylon
wide
Sanders. Braylon
Yeah.
Sanders. Oh, okay. I got you.
Get him
No,
some
I'm talking
reps.
about. As at quarterback?
No, the
No,
wide
I'm talking about
receiver.
Cedric Wilson at quarterback. He's got
Oh,
a
God, that's where I
perfect
lost it.
passer
Yes.
rating and stuff. Yeah, he's got a perfect passer rating. He
Throw
threw the
him
ball
in
a
there.
couple times.
Let's get some
He used to
trick
play
plays.
some quarterback in college till he transitioned. So yeah, let him throw the football. So that'd be dope.
I'm
So,
fine.
yep. So, Mike, you got anything you want to plug? Channel, all that good stuff. Anything,
No,
everything like that?
if you want to watch, I do like a little fan podcast. It's called Dolphins Dynasty. It's just Dolphin Dynasty on YouTube. It's a channel I run with a buddy. He's just a dad, like a lot of other people out there, who is a fan, and we kind of just recap whatever happened that week, and we kind of banter with each other and get mad at each other. And it's just a fun little short, 30 to 40-minute little podcast we put out weekly. But if you like to, if you're like me and you watch every single video on YouTube after wins, you run out of things to watch. Come check out my stuff, because we have a fun time and we'll get hyped up about things that don't matter.
Yeah,
And you could,
yeah.
So you can
Good
check
and
out that
bad.
podcast and subscribe to it, and I would appreciate it.
Yeah, that would be great. Everybody, make sure to go check it out. And Dolphin Dynasty, YouTube, and everything like that. What about the comedy channel? You want to plug that? I know you do the vlogs and stuff.
Oh
Those
yeah,
are-
I mean,
those
if
are
you
really
want,
great.
thank you, man. Michael Lenoci on all social medias, Instagram, Twitter. On Twitter, I live tweet games for the most part. And then Instagram, TikTok, Michael Lenoci, and at YouTube, Michael Lenoci as well. And I have a podcast on there. And then a parody self-help podcast. And then I also have vlogs I put out of what it's like on the road with me and shows around LA. And then I also, I throw up stand-up stuff, and I'll probably put out another crowd work special on Christmas.
The crowd
Day.
work, guys, crowd work shit, hilarious. I love
Thanks,
crowd
bro.
work shit because it's kind of like it. Well, first of all, it's a great way to it's kind of, I think of it almost like in a sporting analogy. It's a great way to flex the muscles and shit like that. It keeps you sharp.
Yeah, it shows you like how long someone's been doing it. It's a confident thing. I mean, but people do love the crowd work. Jokes are the hardest part. If you can write a brilliant joke and people love it,
Yeah.
that's the hard part. The crowd work stuff is fun, though. People love it because they're engaged and in the moment. It's great. So I have a couple crowd work clips
Bro,
out there
you
that
pull
I
no
just share.
punches on the crowd work shit too. It is hilarious.
Oh yeah, if you are easily offended, then don't watch because it's not going to be for
you're in
you.
the right place because like everyone who was easily offended left a long time ago, bro. Only
Good.
the real ones hang around here anymore. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's listen, as you know, and as I see in your jokes, and I can tell you understand, bro. No one is without their flaws, and to sit here and lie to try to make a perfect image, like, dude, come on, bro. Like, why are you lying to me?
We're all,
It's
dude,
insulting.
we're all just struggling, having a good time, and you never know when your time is up here. So just enjoy it instead of bitching about someone's shit.
Yeah, dude.
There's no rules.
How bad is that really affecting your shit? Guys, make sure to hit the like button. Thank you, Michael, for coming in, bro.
Anytime, man.
Yeah, man. We'll have this happen some more times, dude. I know you're out there cruising around and stuff, doing the
sure.
comedy stuff, and hopefully we'll be meeting up for that fucking Super Bowl, bro.
Hell yeah, man.
Oh
And
my
then,
God,
yeah.
bro. That would
Hit
be
me
so
up, dude.
fire. All right, brother. Appreciate it, everybody. Thanks. We'll catch you all next time. Fins up.
Fins up.